G'day and welcome. And I just wanted to say I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Better end of year next year than what we've had the last two with COVID. And it is mental busy at the moment. So let me try and get my head around all this. Right. So end of year was nuts with COVID and assessments and reporting and all sort of other stuff, right? And that kept me busy and it kept me out of here. Also, Susie came down with a chap last or 2 days ago, and they were here for a couple of days, and we were packing a lot of stuff, and the place is in disarray at the moment. There's stuff everywhere. There's a removal truck coming after tomorrow, and I still haven't finished packing some of the stuff up, and there's loads of furniture and bits and pieces, and there's just stuff everywhere. So that's been keeping me busy as well. I was supposed to be doing a lot of that today, and I took my eldest daughter out for lunch, did some Christmas shopping, all the rest of the stuff that goes with Christmas time, and parking was ridiculous around the local village and that sort of thing. Okay, so I haven't got a full video, but I have got stuff I've been doing on the Plymouth, and I got the screen done and fitted on the Stallion. I've got the G back in here. In January, I'm going to be painting the bonnet on the MG because it's terrible, and that car will look sort of nice again, even though I haven't done the dog legs and all that sort of stuff yet. The Plymouth, I've got to pull bits of the motor off. I did a stupid thing. I was trying to change the dipstick because you couldn't get the dipstick in. The dipstick tube was kinked at the bottom, and I took it out and bits of it fell in the sump. So the pan's got to come off and the front's got to come off and be resealed because I broke the seal on it and I don't want coolant getting in the engine. Then I can sort of put it back together. It's taken ages. I put Welsh plugs in it too. Here we go. So, they came down, Susie and her chap came down. They've taken the trailer back, which is great because I was sick of it on the front lawn. I'm going up there the day after tomorrow with a carload of stuff in the Commodore. I've paid for, this is another thing again, I've paid for the freight on the EJ to come here. So that's on the way, but it hasn't been picked up from Graham's yet. I don't know if they'll get to it before Christmas, but if they do, great. But it's good that it's not coming till after Christmas. I was initially going to get it at the start of December, and I'm glad I didn't. Charlie bought another car. She bought a Honda Jazz for a very good price and wants to get out of debt, so selling the MG, which means there's another car here, which is ludicrous. There's like 13 or something here now, or 12, or I don't know how many here. There's a few. And so the EJ is going to be coming, yeah? I've got the engine back for the EJ. All the machine work's done. It's still in the boot of the Corolla. It's been in there for about a week, and I still haven't pulled it out, which is bad because if you have a collision, that's going to come forward and kill everyone in the car. So I've got to get that out. The camshaft's been ground to one above stock, basically like a talker cam sort of thing. So I just have to send the crank out, and then the bottom end of the EJ can go all together, the bottom end of the engine. And I'll send the head out. I might do that through the club, because there's a guy that does the cylinder heads for the Wolseley Car Club, so I might give him, I've got a crack-tested grey head there, so I'll get that done as well. I scratched up, I bashed up the back of the Stallion, jacking it up in the garage. I made a rookie mistake by leaving the handbrake on. It scratched up the boot because it went into the bench, but what do you do? I'm going to have to finish that too, or fix that up. The other thing I'm thinking about doing, the XD needs a good service, a big service. It needs coolant, brake fluid, and an oil change, and I might... This stage, the plan is to go up to see Suze again with a bunch of stuff, and that's on the way, and then grab the trailer, take it to Adelaide, and see Graham, and maybe pick a guard up, and see if we can work something out with the other one. I might package it while I'm there and just freight it down or whatever. But the EJ, he changed out. I've got some photos, and I'll show you after this. The EJ, he changed out the rear axle and put in a complete, diff assembly, if you like, or rear axle assembly with the brakes and the handbrake cable and all that sort of stuff, which was great because it's another thing I don't have to freight down a separate rear axle. But the K-frame at the front, I think you call it K-frame, is rusted, so he's got another one there, so I need a trailer to pick that up. So I'm sort of planning at this stage to do that in January, and I'm hoping it's not too hot because that car hasn't got air conditioning. And all I can really do is say, I'm sorry I haven't had content out because it's just ludicrously busy. I mean, what do you do? It's that time of year, compounded by ex-wifey moving out, and I'm spending a lot of time with my youngest daughter. She's doing huge hours and she's struggling a little bit, and it just goes on and on. But it's still good. You know, everything's still good. So this is a video just about bits and pieces and of what I'm up to. And with that being said, again, Happy Christmas, or Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I hope you enjoy. Right, well, I decided to give the Starlet a oil and filter change. It was due for service. Got this ready. The screen guide's coming out tomorrow to fit the screen. I've just got to touch up some of the green under there. You never see it, but it's me. That's what I do. Big rookie mistake. I jacked it up and consequently damaged the back of it. Here, where is it? On the tailgate. There, nice big dent and scratch. Look, it's a pain, but it's not the end of the day, end of the world, sorry. I'll try and massage it out a bit, fill it, blend it in, clear the whole tailgate again. Pain in the neck, but what do you do? Plymouth's being a pain because there's leaks all over the place. It's got a wheel cylinder leak, of all things, under the back wheel. I've blocked off that line, otherwise the brakes seem to be good. Done the Welshies. Well, can you see them? Don't like it. Hate those Welshies. If I was rebuilding one of those blocks, I'd get them to machine out that ledge from inside and just use normal cup ones. A little bit more plating and all that sort of stuff, although I did put these in, and yeah, I've tried to machine, that's a Ford V8 big block dipstick tube. The other one was all sort of split, and oh, where are we? Split down here, and you could barely get the dipstick in. And in doing that, I've got a bit of shrapnel down in the sump, which I don't like. That pulley's coming off. I'll repaint that. I'll take the front off. I'll drop the sump, clean it out, paint the neck. Didn't want to do it. Probably should change the colour, but you know, everyone's saying change it, but I just don't want to. I think it looks, you know, cleaner. It was cleaning this with the black on it and everything. It's going to look fine. You know, it's such a nice little engine anyway. But yeah, I'm losing fluid out of here, which is a huge pain in the neck, out through that wheel cylinder. I blocked it off yesterday, but still seems to be leaking. No, it's holding its level. So, take the back wheels off, take the cylinders off, figure out what's going on there. Decided to repaint the starter. I've done it in black and repainted those mounts and scratched them because to get the Welsh plugs in, I was actually levering off a bar. Where is that bar? Oh, there. So there's two bolts welded to it. That one pushing the Welsh plug, that one guiding it in the hole. But anyway, that's Jason XW's Fairlane wiring loom. I haven't done yet. I know about it. So the next thing I've got to do is get this MG in. The paint on the bonnet is knackered. It's been knackered for a long time, and it's all bubbly and horrible. So the rest of the paint on the car is not too bad, but the bonnet looks like total arse. So there's a dent there. These are aluminium, these bonnets. So I've got to get the MG back in the garage, pull the Starlet out for the screen guide tomorrow, get this in, strip the bonnet, repaint it, buff out the rest of the car. Well, sorry, and it'll look fairly smart. But I'm not driving an MG around with the bonnet looks like that. These are notoriously soft, so it's bound to need body working in places. Particularly on that little part there, they seem to get damaged quite a lot. Where's my magnet? Oh, it's aluminium, it's not magnetic. Clever dick. That's normally how I gauge how much fuel the cars have in them. So, baby steps. It looks a little bit better than it did, the old Plym, but we're not out of the woods yet. Subject to Welshies, that's a 1 9/16 that I got for the Plymouth. I flattened that out on the concrete. As soon as I knock it in, it just fell out. They're actually 1 5/8, which I didn't know. There's only probably 1.6 mil difference between them, but it's enough to make the thing fall out if it's the wrong size. And I guess if you double 5/8 is 10/16, so yeah, it's a 16th bigger than 9/16. So I had to order these, and it was the fault of the supplier, but they were alright about it, I suppose. I just gave this a quick, very light sort of rinse. Really dusty, horrible, and it's just a peach, isn't it? Isn't it lovely? So what I've got to do is put it at the front And I've got to move the Plymouth, get everything out of the way, and get that little Stallion out. It's looking good though, isn't it? I'm very happy with this car. Bit of an empty shed. I've got to get the little green guy in now. Running out of daylight though. Poor XW is under that sheet covered in crap. That's normally the case in this place. There's always something covered in rubbish. So I think I'll just pull this out. I'm bummed because if I, you know the mistake I made, if I let the handbrake off, the car would have rolled forward as I was jacking it up. But the handbrake was on, so the jack went back, and that's why I hit the bench. What do? You've just got to deal with it, I guess. Pulling me a little bit. So I'm start to think. Little Starly. My little Starly. It's all covered in dirt and crap and rubbish. Oh boy. I'll have to, it should be a little bit over because I've allowed for the oil filter. That's a bit over. Should be right. Good old fashioned Aussie saying, she'll be right. Over there. I can't remember which key it is. Hang on a minute. That's Alana's. Must be on the old keyring, is it? Here it is. No, not that one. I forgot which key. Hang on, it's this one. No. Oh, it's this one. So let oil pressure, fuel pressure build up. Typical Toyota. That's beautiful. You can't knock that. Can't get in. Time I think now to sweep out the garage. Check this out. That's just pointlessly stupid. Actually, that's worse than I thought. How do you do that? That's just dumb. That is so stupid. I've got those springs to put here though. There's a leaf spawned right between there. This needs to be driven really badly. What's it like at the front? I've got to change those springs too. Still looks nice, this car. I love this car. This is one I'll never sell. Just dust this old Starlo off. My bashed up Starly. There's a guy coming in the morning to fit the screen. So I'll just dust it off. This is the worst thing you can do for your paint, but I've got bigger problems than that. I'll give it a wash again sooner or later. The car's a pigsty inside. I really do have to wash it. Toyota stuff is just so forgiving. It's just the best. And most mechanics will tell you that. What car should I buy for my kid's first car? It's always Toyota. Some people like Mazdas and Subis and stuff, and they're great cars too. But yeah, Toyota are quite bland in their styling a lot of the time. But, you know, for just great all-round, no BS cars, gosh. I am a pig. Look at that. For great all-round cars, you're hard-pressed beating them. When I was a kid, I used to get so easily fed up with cars. I always wanted a new one or a different one. You know, I just wanted to change, or something that looked a bit cooler, or something that went a bit faster, or whatever. It didn't really matter. Well, and every time I pull the sheet off that XW, I always look at it. I never forget it, but you forget the effect it has on you sometimes. And you take the sheet off and you just think, wow, I still like this. That's how you know you're going to keep something. You know, the MG used to have that effect, but the paints, I'm sort of ashamed of it now, which is why I'm going to repaint part of it. And then I'm sure that it'll have the same effect, you know. But it's still easy to get complacent and forget what you've got and then replace it, which of course you end up missing what you have, you know. I've done that so many times. Because sometimes you replace a car with another one that doesn't fill the void the first one had. It sounds kind of crazy, I know. But I missed the Galaxy, you know. I really missed that when I sold it. And it's always been on my radar to get another one, but of course, no. I can't, there's no room here. I'm never missing it. Sounds like it's got a big camshaft lope, but it's just a miss, I think. It's getting dark. This thing just doesn't get old, does it? How cool. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy with that. Can't wait to put those nice new headlights in. Get in focus. It's just a thing of beauty, isn't it? Right, stop dreaming for a minute. Just got this really dirty motorcycle off the front porch. It's been sitting in there since the start. It's been in the garage. All this needs is a seat cover and a brake rod for the back and a bloody good wash. The rest of it's finished. Gotta get around to that soon too. It's night time. Gearbox. Maybe I'll put it there. That's probably better. Gearbox. I was going to change one of the clusters, but another bloke at work looked at it and said it was all right, so I'll just leave it. The block has been bored, and it's lovely. What's the best view with light? There you go. So that's looking lovely. So pistons are all numbered, and they're in there, and new camshaft. It's not a chrome cams, that's just in the box. But very happy with this. And once the crank's done, as we said, we can rebuild it. It's going to be a good one. So there you go. I'm sorry it wasn't the most riveting of content, but there's still things going on, so I guess it's all good. The a lot of people are releasing content with less than this in it, I suppose. So it's just how it is. Um, I've been getting a couple of comments. Oh, actually, I've got to thank Nick Sagliano Jr. again. He sent another tool. I haven't got it with me at the moment, but I'll do a thing on it next video. And I got a comment which it wasn't offensive. A guy just said you've lost your spark, and I can't because I've got so many projects. I can't sort of concentrate on one. I don't actually want to do it like that. It's just one of those things where I really enjoy what I do here, and it's great stress relief. Not that I'm stressed about anything at the moment. It's just busy, but I'm really kind of digging it. The Plymouth is going to, once I'm finished it, it's going to go and live with Susie. And that's going to mean that there's more room here. And I'm also going to condense sheds and try and stick something out the back where I can put another car in there. I'm not in a position at the moment where I want to move. I live central to everything. I'm in a lot of debt with settlement and that sort of stuff, but that can be rectified when I sell up and move because I'll move further out and that'll sort all that out, and that could be later. I'm not even stressed about it. It's all good. So it's very difficult. I'm not just concentrating on one program because I don't want to. And as I said, this is a hobby. It's not a job. I've got a job. So I guess that's about it for now. So with that being said, have a great New Year. Have a great Christmas, and there'll be more content coming in January. I will have quite a bit more for you, and I want to have all the Plymouths. What is it? The engine bay all finished, the front clip on, and I want to have the floors all done and the headlining in. I want to get a lot of work done on the Plymouth, and if I go and get these guards, well then the XC is going to be right. We've got a car show coming up in March at the school, and I want the XC to be there. It just means I won't be able to get the bumpers done, re-chromed and fixed up. I've called John from Old School Auto Parts. He uses a chrome guy that's very, very good. And I sent photos of the Plymouth bumpers to get quotes and this sort of stuff, but I still haven't heard back. I think everyone's just so busy and no one's going to get work done at the moment. So that's just how it is, and there's not much we can do with it. But it means I can button up a few more projects, and that's good. I should even finish the bikes. I haven't finished those yet. I've got the 350 back in here. That was on the front porch for ages. But more content in January, a couple of projects finished hopefully, and all good. So I'll see you around. Just thought I'd add these photos. We've seen these ones before of the car when Graham got it. It resembles something automotive carnage would find, although they're normally on their roofs, I think, when he finds them. But you can just see how messed up and incomplete it is. Now, what he's done is he's sort of amassed a whole lot of parts that he had. Now, Graham's had a history of EJ Holdens, and I actually wasn't looking for one. It just sort of turned up and he said he was selling it, and I sort of expressed a bit of interest. So he's completed the car. He's given me quite a lot of parts, and he's also got into his parts bin and completed it to this level here, which is wonderful. It's a complete vehicle. It just needs to be restored. So I was very, very chuffed indeed with what he did, and he did a whole video. His last video, he's actually done a kind of a vlog on it and explained what he's doing, and given me quite a lot of very, very, very good parts. Now these cars aren't cheap anymore. They've never got the value of an EH, but in many ways I prefer them. A bit like XWs and XYs. They're a wonderful car, and they've got a few features on there the EH doesn't have. Styling cues, which makes them just that little bit more unique in my view. So we have to thank Graham very much for this. He's been very patient with me, and he's done a hell of a lot of work on it to get it as a steering roller with glass in it, which will be picked up shortly. What do you reckon? Shit. Move. Move, cat. Move. Move. Come on.